This is the video I wish existed when I was Googling, is it too late to start over at 40 at 11 p.m. one night? I'm Celine, I'm 45, and this is where it started. Back in 2006, two major things happened in my life. One very bad and a very good one. The very bad one was that I lost my sister, my only sister, to cancer. She was 20 at that time. I was 24, 25. And that thing kind of hit, when you realize you only live once. And this is something that kind of stuck to my head since then. Every time I'm struggling, every time I hesitate, every time I am scared, I'm like, okay, I only live once, right? So at that time when my sister died, I was having a very bad job. I was working in a photography store and I didn't care about that job at all. So I was young. At that time, I was doing a hobby that is called scrapbooking. And I had people coming to me and asking me whether I was teaching classes. And I started teaching a couple of classes here and there in France. And I used to teach a few classes when I lived in Montreal, Canada. And when I came back to France, I was like, okay, this is something that I really like to do. I like being creative. I love this hobby. I love to teach people how to create things. And I was like, okay, let's do this. I'm young. I still live with my parents and we're going through some major trauma with, losing my sister. And what happened is that I quit my job and I told myself, okay, I'm giving myself 1 year to actually do this as a, full-time job. And I dived in and I actually did it for 15 years, traveling to over 40 countries in the world, publishing a book, creating a scrapbook magazine in France that was, selling every quarter, launching a website with, online classes and stuff, and working with many companies doing UGC. At that time, that wasn't called a UGC, but I was doing, campaigns and working with brands and everything. And that was an amazing time of my life. I met some of the best people on earth. I met friends that I still have today. And yeah, that was it. I loved it. So for 15 years, I bet on myself and it worked. What happened next is another kind of trauma, okay? A trauma and a good thing. In March 2015, one bad thing happened and one amazing thing happened. The most amazing thing ever. So in March 2015, my husband at that time and myself decided to stop our company. No more scrapbooking, no more classes, no more travel, no more magazine. And it was hard. It was really hard. We struggled financially. It was tough. I tell you, it was tough. But one amazing thing happened is that I got pregnant. And I'm telling you, 2015 was the worst year for me as an entrepreneur. But the most wonderful thing for me as a human being, as I was about to be a mom. So my pregnancy went by. It was the perfect pregnancy. I wasn't sick. Everything went perfectly, but I was probably crying every single day of my pregnancy because we were broke, because I was scared. I didn't know if we had enough money to, raise a child. And that was a tough one. That was a really, really tough one. So what happened is that in October 2015, I got in touch with a longtime friend of mine, Corinne, in the Netherlands. And we've been friends for a long time. We've met each other in the scrapbooking time. And she talked to me about, using essential oils for depression and pregnancy and well-being and everything. And I was like, yeah, I have nothing to lose. I know that I've been using essential oils for a long time. I live in the south of France. So, lavender and all that thing we've been using forever here. So I followed her advices and I tried some oils and they worked really, really good. And one day she tells me that well, I could, do this for a living, and I could build a business on, being a content creator in the wellness industry and talk about all the good things the oils were bringing to my life. And I was like, okay, let's think about this and brainstorm. That's usually the way I work. I need to process the idea of the business and build system and feel a fire, something inside that tells me, you're going to have fun with that thing. This is going to bring you joy. And okay, again, I told myself, I'm giving myself 1 year and see if I do this as a full-time job. And I dived in and I managed to monetize this new business within a couple of months. Actually, I became one of the best sellers in Europe within a couple of months. I won cruises, travels and trips to the UK, to Austria, to Croatia. I won that cruise in the Caribbean, and I managed to earn quite a lot of money to it. And then I got bored after 5 years. And, well, it's not that I got bored, but at one point the joy wasn't there anymore. The thing that I didn't really like was, holding people by the hand. And I just let the whole business run through because it's some kind of passive income. So it's still running. I want to dive in again in this business, but still, I got bored on the system that I built at that time. And okay, what do I do now? I need something that sparks my creativity, my joy, and my knowledge, my ability to think and build systems. So I see this job opportunity online for a position as a social media manager in a tech company. And I was looking at the tech company online. I was like, whoa, this looks amazing. And I applied and I got the job. So here I am in 2021, 22. No, it was January 2022. Here I am starting this new job as a social media manager in a corporate job, not a big company, but really good tech company. It was amazing, really amazing. I loved people. I loved the products that we were selling. I loved my job. And I stayed there for 5 years. And what happened is that I was kind of disappearing in my job because I didn't feel valued. I grew up, in my home, when I have something that bothers me, I need to speak it out. And that's what I did in my job. And apparently that was not something that was done over there. So our values didn't really match at that time. I got disappointed in so many things. The joy wasn't there anymore. I felt not valuable in my knowledge, in my person, in my being. And I quit. I quit last September. And here I am, 45. Oh, and then I'm single again. And so here I am, 45, single, a mom of a soon-to-be teenager girl. I sold my house in September last year, so same month that I quit my job. I sold the house that I bought with the ex-boyfriend, moved back to my family home, and I'm so grateful that I have this home as a shelter every time something bad is happening in my life. I know that I want to do something creative. I've been talking about doing this whole YouTube content creation thing full-time for years. And just like in 2006, just like in 2015, just like in 2021, when something bad happens, there is always something good happening at the same time. And every time I fail, every time I come back to life with more joy, more success. So I am here telling you that I'm giving myself 1 year to be a full-time content creator. And I'm going to do the YouTube. I'm going to do the blog. I'm going to do the Instagram account. I'm going to talk about the ups and downs of my journey to this. I'm going to be totally transparent and open and honest, like I've always been. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to dive full in this. And I know that at 45, some people might be scared to start over, but I guess it's, in a way, like a rebirth. I feel like some kind of a phoenix, maybe. So, yeah, here I am again, starting over. So what will this channel be about? Well, it'll be about me. But I want to be like some kind of a guide, some kind of an inspiration. I don't want to call myself like that, but I'm going to share the way that I'm rebuilding myself at 45. I have 3 things that I want to build again. I want to build my business with this content creation business that I want to do. I want to rebuild my own body, because with everything I've been going through the last 2 years, I gained weight. I hate to say this. This sucks. But like everything that happened before, I gained weight and I lost it. So here I am. I gained weight and I'm going to lose it again. And I'm rebuilding my life as a whole, as a single mom, as a woman, as a creative person. And yeah, I'm going to share all of this. So I hope it's going to be fun. I think I'm fun sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, I'm one step ahead, building in public, and yeah, we don't have to do this alone. So I'm not alone. I'm sharing this with you. So click the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, give me like a little comment, send me a little love, and I'll see you on Instagram, I'll see you on YouTube, and I'll see you on my blog. Take care. See ya.